right, so it says writing and solving quadratics in context. It says number one, always, always, always draw a picture. Okay, underline any keywords that you are seeing in your context problem. In other words. All right, so as I'm reading this, I'm going to draw a picture of what this looks like. So it says a pool. Okay, so already I know that it is a pool. So what does a pool look like? Well, hopefully it's a rectangle, because actually you can have like circular pools or kind of pools. It'll tell you. All right, a pool measuring 10 feet by 20 feet. Okay, so the shorter side is 10. The longer side is 20. We'll have a cement walkway around it. Okay, so here is something going all the way around. Okay, the area covered by the pool, and so you see me underline keywords. So it's covered by the pool and the cement walkway is 600 feet. That means that everything inside this whole place is 600. Okay, so everything. And how do you find area of a rectangle? Area of a rectangle is length times width. So when I take the length and the width and multiply together for both sides, I'll get 600 square feet, so feet squared. All right, if the walkway must have a uniform width, what does that mean? Uniform width means everything around is the same distance. Okay, so if it must have a uniform width around the entire pool, what is the width of the walkway? Okay, so the question is, what is this distance from here? Okay, and let me actually undo all this. What is this distance here? Okay, so I call it X, that width. Okay, now if this is X, if I come right here and it's the same distance here, that's also X, right? So if I was to represent an expression to represent the width and the length of the rectangular area, or if I was to write that expression, if I redrew this box with the whole thing, so this is the big box, okay, this outside on this side, the width would be 10 plus X plus X. So that would be 10 plus 2X. This is the big box, okay? The length this way would be 20. Okay, so the length would be 20 plus, and whatever this is, and because it's all the same width, that's an X there, and on this side as well, there's an X there. So it'll be 20 plus 2X. And when I multiply those two together, I'll get that area of 600 feet. So write an expression that represents would be 20 plus 2X, okay, times 10 plus 2X equals, and when I multiply length and width, I'll get the 600 in the middle. That's my expression. Number two, using expressions for the length and width, write an expression to represent the area of the space covered by the cement walkway and pool. Okay, so sorry, so this is the number two. So that's for the whole thing. For the width of just the rectangular area would be 10 times 20. Well, I guess it's asking you the length, write an expression to represent the width and length of the rectangular area. Okay, so L times W is A. Determine the width of the walkway X around the pool. Okay, so basically what am I doing? I'm solving for X. So anytime you're solving quadratics, you need to have it equal to 0. Okay, so because it's not equal to 0, we're going to move the 600 to the other side. When we do that, we get 20 plus 2X. And then 10 plus 10 times 2X. 10 plus 2X, I'm sorry, I can't read my own writing right. 10 plus 2X minus 600 equals 0. So now I have a quadratic equation. So anytime you have a quadratic equation equal to 0, then we can go ahead and solve it. Now, to solve it, we can do, remember we've talked about the different ways you can solve it. You can solve it by factoring, by using the box method. You can use a quadratic formula. You can complete the square. You can do a lot of things. But for time purposes, we're going to use a calculator. So as always, go to desmos.com/practice. Please make sure you're saying practice. Once you are there, you're clicking on choose assessment, Georgia milestone, start practice. Go ahead and type in everything in the equation just like you see it. So parentheses, 20 plus 2X, close the parentheses, open another parentheses, 10 plus 2x, close the parentheses, minus 600. All right, so again, I have typed in this equation. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that you can see it's a quadratic function, okay? Now remember, when we are solving quadratic functions, right? The solving it is where it crosses the x-axis. So when I solve this quadratic function, I'll get two answers for x because it intersects the x-axis twice. So one is at -20, so this is -20, and the other one is at 5. So you just put your mouse over it, it'll tell you. Now, this is a real world problem. Does it make sense for something to be -20 feet? No. So this does not mathematically make any sense. So x equals 5 feet would be the width. That's not the width of the walkway x around the, oh, it is actually the width of the walkway x. So that would be the width of the walkway x around the pool. Okay, so that will be 5 feet because we solved for x. All right. All right, let's take a look at another problem. So in a park, in a picnic area, it's surrounded by grass in the shape of a rectangle. So they've already drawn the picture for you. Okay, so draw the picture, label the picture, use the picture to answer the question. So they have it for you already. All right, so in a park here, it is surrounded as shown in the diagram below. The area of the shaded region that represents the grass is 48 square yards. All right, so be very careful. This is saying this area right here, not including the picnic table. Okay, so a picnic area is surrounded by grass in the shape of a rectangle. So that's this shaded region. Okay, so if the area of the shaded region that represents the grass is 48, so only the shaded region is 48 is the area. So area is 48. You're gonna write that down because you're gonna need it. All right. What is the length and width of the picnic area? So once I have that, what is this length and width? Okay. Now, these questions are going to walk you through the process of solving that problem. So number one, how could we write an expression to represent the area of the larger triangle? All right, so here's the large triangle. How could you write that expression? So we're going to go ahead and make the large triangle. All right, it says the width of the large triangle is x minus 4, and the length of it is x plus 3. So expression to represent the area of big. So I'll write the word big so I know which one this is. The big is length times width again, so this times this. And again, we're going to put in parentheses, plus 3x minus 4. And we were told in the question, okay, that's going to be 48. Okay, so I've gone ahead and written that expression for number one. For question two, how could you write an expression to represent the area of the smaller triangle? So we go A, area of the big. And I'm sorry, go ahead and erase this. We'll deal with this later. So don't put that in there. Okay. Area of, oh, I just said the big again by mistake. It's not letting me erase, so I'll just write it again. So number two, area of the small. Okay, so how could you write an expression to represent the area of the smaller rectangle? So area of the smaller rectangle, go ahead and draw it. Here's a smaller rectangle. X is the length, and the width is 3. So the area is going to be 3 times x, which is 3x. Number 3, how could we write an expression that only represents the area of the shaded? So here's the area of the small. Area of the big includes the small as well, right? So if I just wanted this shaded area, I would take the area of this big one right here and subtract the little one. Okay, so area of the big, area of this big one minus the little one will give me just the grass. So number 3, area of big minus area of small will give me area of grass. If the area, okay, so let's go ahead and write that in, right? So we have area of big, which is x plus 3, x minus 4, minus the area of the small, which is 3x. And that gives me the area of just the grass. And if the area of the shaded region is 48 square feet, what is X? So they told us the area of this grass is 48, and they're asking us to solve for X. So just like in the previous problem, remember, it's very, very important. In order to solve quadratics, it has to be equal to 0. So your first step is always going to be, if there's something on the right-hand side, you need to move it to the left. All right, so that 48 moves to the left, it becomes negative 48. And now there's nothing on that side. Okay, so again, for ease, I'm going to go ahead and put it into the calculator, and I'm going to go ahead and use the parentheses I already have. So it's x plus 3 and x minus 4, and then minus 3x, and I'm just typing exactly what I see, minus 3x, and then negative 48. Okay, so again, this is exactly what I have right here. Okay, so right here, I'm just typing it in there. Okay, so I've typed it in, and I know that my roots, my solutions, my zeros, my x-intercepts, okay, is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So I just put my mouse on top. I see x is negative 6. So I'm going to get x is negative 6, or x is positive 10. So make sure, even though it looks like it's crossing on 10, make sure you put it on that point so you can see. And remember, you could always zoom in and out to make sure that that's what it's doing. And to get the point to eliminate, just click back on it and you'll see. So x is negative 6 or 10. Now, again, in real life, have you ever heard of the distance being negative something? No. So this answer doesn't make sense. So x is equal to 10 feet. All right, and excuse my chicken scratch. It's hard to write with a mouse. All right, so x is equal to 10 feet. All right, now that I know what x is, the fifth question, and just keep going underneath, I just run out of space. The fifth question is, what are the dimensions of the picnic area? Okay, so the picnic area includes the picnic table and the grass. So if I found x to be 5, sorry, if I found x to be 10, I'm sorry, right here, x is 10, the dimensions of the picnic area, the whole area, so x minus 4 would be 5 minus 4. So that's going to be 1. Why do I keep saying 5, y'all? I'm tripping. 10. X is 10. So 10 minus 4. I was like, 1 does not make sense. All right, 10 minus 4, which is equal to 6. And here I have 10 plus 3, plus x is 10, and that's equal to 13. So the width of the whole picnic table and the grass is 6 feet. And go ahead and put in your feet, you know, whatever it is that they're talking about. And your length is 13 feet. All right, and that's pretty much it. So context problems is just about drawing a picture so that you can understand what's actually going on in the problem.